Morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. This morning we are talking about harsh truths that new creators need to know if they actually want to be successful in this industry. I feel like there is just so much out there, not necessarily misinformation, but unrealistic expectations, and that's why a lot of creators end up quitting so quickly. That and because they don't have discipline. That's a whole different video. But the reason why a lot of people end up quitting is because they just have these unrealistic expectations because they're continuously comparing themselves to their favorite creator that's been doing this for years and years. So I am going to be getting ready in this video as usual and going through some of these things that you should definitely be aware of. So the first thing that a lot of new creators just don't grasp is that you need both quality and quantity content to actually take off. So let me say that again. You need quality and quantity to take off as a creator. By take off, I mean growing your platform, building a following, having an online community. If you are just starting content creation today, at the time that you are watching this video, you are behind many creators. Now, does that mean that it's impossible for you to blow up? No. That's not what it means at all. And the fact that people think that, oh, well, I should have started YouTube 10 years ago. And now since I'm so late, there's just no chance for me. Well, yeah, there's no chance because that's what you already told yourself. If you actually want to grow on any platform, not just YouTube, any platform, you need to be producing quality and quantity of content. So you need to have a quality that people want to actually watch, and you need to be putting out a ton of content to increase your chances and likelihood of people discovering you, whether it be your channel, your page, your TikTok, whatever it is. You need to have both. And a lot of people, specifically with TikTok, I've been seeing this a lot more often, is that they'll say like, oh, well, I've been posting a TikTok a day and nothing's happened. Yeah, because you're only posting a TikTok a day. And you go to the TikTok and it's actually poor quality. It's a mediocre video. It doesn't actually give the audience any value, right? So yeah, you may have posted a TikTok a day, but all those TikToks suck. So you thinking that you're going to have this mass following and that you're just so entitled to, all of these likes and followers is absolutely ridiculous, because there are hundreds of other creators that are doing exactly what you are doing in your niche, and they are doing it 10 times better than you and 10 times more often than you. Meaning an audience is gaining so much more value by not following you. So if you are someone that is brand new to content creation, and again, it does not matter what platform you are on, but if you're brand new to content creation and you are trying to grow your social media, you need to have both quality and quantity. It is not enough for you to do the bare minimum of what your favorite creator is doing, because they have been on the internet for years and years. You just started 20 minutes ago. And a lot of examples of this are with creators that have blown up seemingly overnight, but it's really because they are putting out so much content that is high quality, that is valuable, that is something that their audience is gaining something from. And they are doing it in a way that is going above and beyond that platform's expectation. So generally, the average creator is posting, let's say 1 to 2 times, maybe even 3. Let's just say 1 to 2 times on TikTok. And this is someone who already has a following on TikTok. They're posting 1 to 2 times a day. If you're only posting once a day, obviously you are not going to have the same chance of growing because you're doing half of the quantity of work that they are doing. If you're posting every other day, well, damn near, you're not even basically doing anything. So if they're posting twice a day, they're getting 14 videos in a week. You were posting every other day. You were getting 4 videos at best a week. Clearly, you are not going to be growing at the same rate as everyone else because you simply are not even having the match in content. Then, if you consider that your content quality is lower than what the big creators are doing, then of course you're not going to actually have a chance in growing your platform because you're posting 1/3, less than 1/3 of what they are posting, and the quality of your content is down here and what they're posting is up here. So as a new creator, you need to realize that if you genuinely want to grow your platform, you need to be putting out both quality and quantity. Oh, I done put too much foundation on my hand. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Next. Oh, and this one grinds my gears. Oh gosh, wait until you hear this. So the next thing that creators will often do, newer creators when they are just getting into content creation, is they will mimic the thing that the creator they admire is doing. Right? So if they love Keith Lee's food reviews, they will go in the car, they'll buy their meals, and they will pretty much mimic exactly what Keith Lee does. There are so many problems with this. The first one is that you are not Keith Lee. I hate to be the one to break it to you. You aren't, right? You are yourself. Let's call you James Jackson. You are James Jackson. Why would anyone come to you over going to Keith Lee, right? They simply wouldn't. They're like, Keith Lee is already doing this. He does this very well. I'm going to go for him because he has really great reviews. You are some schmuck that people have no idea about. Just some average Joe that came across their For You page and they said, oh, the first thing they thought, because people aren't going to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this. The first thing that they thought was, oh, he's trying to be like Keith Lee. That's not a compliment. It's not, because you have to form your own brand identity. If you don't know what a brand identity is, I go into detail about this in my creator course. But your brand identity needs to be strong so that you are known for something as you. Because again, Keith Lee's already doing what he's doing and he's doing it very well. So if you are someone who wants to do food reviews and you admire Keith Lee, it's okay to admire him. He does a great job, right? But if you want to do food reviews, you have to present it in a way where it is very different from what everyone else is already doing. Because people can already go to those creators and watch that content. They're already going there. They already like that person for that thing. So you doing it yourself, you're just becoming like the wannabe Keith Lee. The other reason why this isn't a great idea to mimic other creators that are already in your niche, like larger creators that you admire, it is not a smart idea to do exactly what they are doing, not only because they already do it well, no one cares about you doing it, but really because you are always going to be one step behind of whatever it is that they put out. Again, if your identity is wrapped up in being someone else's, I don't know, mini me or something, like if you're making the same exact videos as another creator, a major creator in your space, that major creator comes out with a brand new video and then you mimic it. Okay, yeah, so you're making that video, but you can't come up with any new content because all your content is based on what they put out. So you're always going to be a step behind. So you don't even have any original content for yourself. People may follow you for, like making that funny video one time, but they're not actually involved in you. They're not invested in you. They're invested in that larger creator. So it doesn't make any sense for you to just mimic what a larger creator is doing, because that larger creator has already garnered an audience that likes to watch them for the thing that they do. You doing that same exact thing doesn't make you different, and it just makes you a copycat. And it's kind of boring to watch, to be totally honest. So if you want to look to other creators for inspiration, that's one thing. But doing exactly what they're doing just in your city or in your, I don't know, in your body or in your whatever, it doesn't actually add anything to the audience. Like the audience doesn't really care about you. They care about that person that you're trying to be like. And the next thing, and this is, I think, a younger generation thing, or maybe it's not. I don't know why people feel this way. But you can't hire somebody to do something if you don't know how to do that skill yourself. Like you have to think about content creation as your business, because that's what it is. It is a business. And if you were to hire someone in your business, how are you going to train someone to do the skill that you want them to do if you don't know how to do it yourself? Like it makes no sense to me. And there's a difference between hiring specialists and generalists. Specialists are people who have a very specialized skill in something. So let's say you create vlogs on YouTube and you hire an editor to edit your YouTube vlogs, right? They are a specialist in their skill, which is editing content, right? They probably know more special effects. They probably know how to do coloring. They probably know how to do a variety of things that you don't know how to do. But if you don't even know how to explain to them your editing style, like, okay, I have this type of intro, or, I do something like this, and I like do zoom ins and I put memes around videos. If you don't even know what you do to make your videos be successful, to be something that your audience wants to watch, then there's really no point in you hiring somebody, because they're going to make it up on their own and it's not going to be you coded. Like it's not going to identify with you or with your audience. So it's kind of strange to me when people have no idea how to edit content and then they'll hire an editor and then they'll be like, oh, well, my editor quit, so I need to find a new editor. Why didn't you learn how to edit content in the first place? Like that's like the skill. Like that's what you do. And the only times when people don't do this, right, where they hire people and they outsource immediately, is when they are celebrities. You're probably not a celebrity if you're watching this video, but also people who have multiple businesses and are kind of doing different things where they don't necessarily have the time to do it. I think people that immediately opt to hire editors are people who don't have the editing skills, don't have the patience to actually learn the skill, and really just want it because they want the instant gratification. Like they don't want to figure it out on their own because they want someone else to do it for them and they think that's going to actually make them successful. When the reality of it is, like, the beginning part, when you start out as a creator, the beginning parts of you figuring out your style, how you present your content, how you speak to your audience, like that is a part of the journey. So when you skip over all of that, it just doesn't make it unique to you. Like your content has always been edited by an editor, so your audience is always used to here. So then if you start to edit your own videos, well, your videos are now down here and people stop watching your videos, you know? Like there are just very few instances where it makes sense to hire an editor right off the bat, and a lot of people skip that step, or they'll use the excuse of like, oh, well, I just don't have time and, you know, I need someone else to do this. Like, you still need to have a basic understanding of the skill, like off rip. You need to know how to speak to camera to be able to constantly create videos. So like that's not something that you can hire somebody for, but like you also need to know how to write captions, you know, in case you like, these are just skills that you need to know to do if you're someone who wants to build a following based on a personal brand, not just like a random business page. I mean, if you want to build a personal brand and have a following and be an influencer, right, you need to know how to do these things to instruct other people so that you can be able to do on your own. So that if, you know, your editor leaves or moves or, you know, whatever it may be, you can hire a new editor and tell them exactly what it is that you want them to do to match the style of your content and how you like it for your audience. Okay, this next one, ooh, I'm trying to keep it together. I'm really trying to be nice, but I don't think I'm gonna be nice for this next one. So if you are a brand new creator, you have to understand you are a baby in this industry. You are brand new. No one is required to teach you anything, to help you out, to put you on to something. Literally no one is required to do that. This, again, is your business. If you were to start like a random, let's say, t-shirt business, right? No one's required to help you. No one's required to buy your t-shirts or to buy whatever products that you're selling. No one is required to give you instruction. Those are things that you have to figure out on your own. Yes, you can have a mentor if you choose to do so, if you know someone who is willing to help you. But again, you are not entitled to someone's help. And what people will say these days, and I mean within the last like 3 months that I've seen, is like, oh, you know, these creators, they don't tell you how to do it. They don't put you on, like they're just gatekeeping, blah, blah, blah. No one is required to help you at all. Like you quite literally are on your own in this life. I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you. It just, that's how it is, right? All these creators are already making money because they took the time to learn the skill that you refuse to learn how to do. So if you can't figure out how to learn it, then you clearly don't want it that bad. You really don't. Like, you think someone's going to come along and just be like, all right, James Jackson, now it's time for you to do this. Okay. And now it's time for you to do this. People aren't obligated to help you. So if you think that you are entitled to someone's help just because you're a new creator, you are absolutely out of your goddamn mind. You have went past the level of delusion and you are now at entitlement. That's where you are. Because so many times I will see people saying like, oh, this person's lying because ain't no way you can do this and blah, blah, blah. Like, and then I'll go to their page and I'm like, you clearly have no idea what you're doing. You're clearly not trying to help yourself. Like, you're not putting any effort to helping yourself. You're not putting any effort to asking questions to people that actually have the time or are willing to help you, right? There are so many resources just here on YouTube alone, not even considering Instagram and TikTok, but there are so many resources, and the people that complain constantly that, you know, nobody's putting them on, no one's helping them, blah, 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 are the people who don't even try to look for those resources. That's the part. There it is, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me that people feel so entitled to other creators telling them how to do their business. Like, if you ran a business, no one's going to come to you and be like, okay, now it's time for you to set your opening hours. Okay, now it's time for you to open up the shop. All right, and this is how you check out a customer. This is how you turn on the register. No one's going to tell you how to do that. So why do you expect it in content creation? Because you think it's easy? You think that anybody can do it, right? Because as long as you have a phone, you can do it, right? It's not that simple. It's really not that simple. And if you've been doing it for a little bit, I would say like a few weeks or maybe even a few months, then you've probably going to recognize that, oh, it's not as simple as I originally thought. Because it isn't, right? That's why it takes creators so long to actually build the platforms that they have and to be where they are. Yes, the payoff is great, but if you don't do the work of what it takes for you to get to that payoff, you're never actually going to see it. Okay, the next thing is that you have to show personality for you to stand out. So I talked about this already before. If you're just starting today as you're watching this video and you don't know anyone in your life that's a creator, you don't really know anything about, how to be in this industry, right? You have to understand that you are not the only person in your niche. Whatever it is you're talking about, people have done it thousands of times before, right? There's nothing new under the sun. But what makes your content interesting is how you deliver your information. It is the personality that you show in your content. Like I could sit up in front of my makeup vanity and just talk to you like this. So if you want to learn how to create content, you should really understand. Like that's really boring to listen to. And it's really boring for me to even create. So what makes me stand out, probably someone that you like watching, at least hopefully, is that I have a lot of personality in my content. I have a lot of personality in my real life too. So it is your personality of what helps you stand out. The tips that I give you guys aren't anything different than any other creator educator that you've probably seen on the internet. It's a delivery and how I present it and my personality that makes me stand out. So if you want to do, I don't know, cooking videos, right? It's not about you knowing how to make a really fire vegetable lasagna. People can't even taste lasagna when they're watching your videos. They have no idea if it tastes good or not. It is the personality of what you put into it that makes people interested in your content. You and the next Joe Schmo could be making the same damn vegetable lasagna. But if you don't have any personality, no one's going to watch you. And that is actually what makes you stick out and what makes people interested in what you are doing, regardless of what it is that you are doing. Now, the last thing, before I actually get my matcha for the day, because I haven't gotten anything to drink this morning, but that is that it could be a while before you get a substantial brand deal. Now, substantial is different depending on who you are and your expectations and what you see for yourself in your future. But a lot of people, again, will be like, oh, well, this popular influencer was posting for 3 months and then she got her first brand deal. I've been posting for 3 months and I haven't gotten anything. Well, have you looked at your content? Are you posting mediocre content? Are you consistent? Are you posting in the same niche, right? Are you branding your content? Do you know how to incorporate products? Do you know what brands are you looking for to monetize? Probably not. Also, depending on the time of year that you join, depending on your niche, depending on what you talk about, depending on so many different factors, there are so many different things that go into getting a brand deal, into being noticed by brands. If you are someone who isn't even being consistent in the first place and you're inconsistently creating mediocre content, obviously you're not going to get a brand deal after 3 months. Like, come on, let's get out of delusion and start to be a little bit more serious. When I started creating content, so I started in 2020, I didn't get my first brand deal until the end of 2022. So it was December of 2022. And I worked with a brand that I pitched to and they paid me like $200 and I was so happy about it. I was like, wow. Now that to me in that time wasn't a substantial brand deal. I was like, oh, it's cool. I got my first brand deal, but I wasn't like, this is the end. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Like I can just stay here and do this. It was a great starting point for me. But in 2023, I decided, you know what? We're going to take the pedal to the metal and really start to crank out these brand deals. And that year, I had made twice as much from content creation than I had from my actual job. So it really depends on what you know about monetizing your content, how you incorporate products in your content, if at all, how to show brands that you are actually valuable and they can get a return on your investment through your content. All these things I talk about in my creator course. So if you have no idea how to do those things, then yes, getting a brand deal is going to take you much longer than you probably anticipate right now. But if you know how to do those things and you implement them regularly, you actually apply yourself to get that done, you could very well be on the radar of a brand for a brand deal in the future. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I have to go get my matcha or else I'm going to melt. But thank you guys for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.